With a straight face. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
You guys, we're a little bit punchy. We're playing with my stand-up desk.
Okay, so it goes up and we thought it'd be really dramatic if we brought it down and it just kind of like centered on us,
Right.
but it didn't quite work the way that it, played out in my brain.
I think we need a theme song. I think that's what's missing. We play our theme song
True.
while we move the stand-up
So you're
desk.
not hearing the
Correct.
okay. Well, now that we've solved that, good morning.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Just us today.
That's right. Just us today.
And super excited to talk about a concept that we've talked about before on Coffee with MC, but we're going to share an example and some tangible ways that you can take advantage of this system.
Yes.
For the fourth quarter. So will you explain kind of the background of what we're going to talk about today and why it matters?
Yeah. So I think part of this is like fundamentally that I absolutely love it when I feel like I'm ahead of the game because it never happens. And so when it does, I get really pumped. Right.
Yeah.
So, there's this whole thing about New Year's and, the first quarter and all this kind of thing. And I've heard advice from several different sources, and I really buy into it, that says that instead of waiting until the first quarter to think about what your goals are for next year and implementing them and that kind of thing, that what you really ought to do is think about all of that during the fourth quarter, so that then you can go ahead and start to kind of work those grooves and get your mind and get yourself right, so that way you don't have as far to go when Q1 comes. You don't fall as far during Q4, because heavens knows, you guys, I mean, with everything that happens during the end of the year, I mean, it's really easy to go slam off the rails.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge life hack. Like Q4 is such a powerful time, but I often forget about, and you jump toward January 1st and you spend all this time in Q4 prepping for that when you really can cover a lot of ground during these last 3 months of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we wanted to talk about is, last week we had Manda Price come from Wilmington. She is this awesome, she works for Keller Williams there. She's their team leader. She just is fabulous. And she talked to us about some tools that we knew about and that we use. And we've talked to you guys about some of those too, but it really has it top of mind. And so the tool that we want to talk to you guys about today is called the GPS.
Yes. So this is a system that breaks down kind of your goals and then provides strategies and priorities and things like that to reach those goals.
Yeah. And so, like, if you think about, y'all, a GPS, it's also sometimes called a 1-3-5. And so what that means is it's one goal, and then under the goal, you have the P, which is the priorities. You have 3 priorities. And then under each priority, you have 5 strategies that you're going to use. And it's just, what it really feels like to me? It's like a brain dump. So I know you've heard us talk about the shoe in your dryer,
the fork in your microwave,
which Meg started calling the fork in your microwave inexplicably. But we love calling it that too, which is like, picture if there's a shoe in your dryer and you turn the dryer on, it's just thumping in there and it's driving you crazy. And then as soon as you pull the shoe out, you're like, oh
yeah, the relief.
Right. And so this is kind of how to attack some of that. So with the GPS, if you think about it, guys, if you have a business, then your business, your one goal for Q4 might be something like, you might have a revenue goal. You might have a clients or customers served goal. You might have a units sold goal, whatever that might be, you can use it for business. And with business, I know it really should be very specific and very measurable, both your goal and your priorities. But what we wanted to do was to create something that really relates to everybody.
Business owners or not.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And actually I needed this.
Same. I'm literally adopting what we're about to go over with you guys.
I needed this. And so what we're talking about, we've got some notes, and then in the end, we'll show you guys kind of what it looks like. It's very simple, but our goal for Q4 is just better health all the way around. So, and to be clear, when we talk about health, actually, this goes right into the 3 priorities. So health, we're not just talking about physical health, right? So what we've done is we've broken down the goal, the G is better health, right? For Q4, which then sets you on the right path when you go into 2024.
Yes.
And then the priorities, 3 priorities that we have are going to be better physical health, better mental health, and better emotional health.
I love it. In my brain, it's already getting organized.
I know.
Okay, big goal up here, and then I've got my 3 priorities over here.
And then under each priority, you just have 5 strategies that you're going to use.
So do we want to start with physical health? The strategies that will get you by the end of the fourth quarter to a point where you feel like your physical health is better.
That's exactly right. And they don't have to be big. They can be little, but we tried to make them as quantifiable as possible.
Yep.
So what is the first thing from our notes on physical health?
The first one is to get 30 minutes of exercise 5 times a day. Now, what would you
5 times a week?
Week.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So all you're going to do is just exercise all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
5 times a week.
Yes.
Now, what would you constitute an exercise as? Could it be a walk outside? Could it be?
I think that's totally up to you. I think for, and you guys may decide that's not reasonable. Maybe you want to get at least 30 minutes of exercise 3 times a week, whatever it is that you want to do. But I think you just, create something in your mind that will make you feel good and that you're going to hold yourself to.
Love it.
Yeah. So, and then drinking water is another one that could go under physical health. So we put down drinking 100 ounces of water a day. That sounds like a lot. You think it's too much?
It does, but I think it's, it's a good challenge.
Okay. So
I've heard it's your body weight divided by 2 in ounces.
Oh,
that's what I've heard.
Okay. So,
we work in real estate, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Just rule of thumb.
Sleep, you guys. Ooh. Sleep is another one that totally, is it Andrew Huberman? It's somebody who has a podcast that I listen to who says that you should not ask people how they're feeling or how they're doing. You just say, how are you sleeping?
Yes. Okay. Also, we joke about this with Mary Cheatham, but I know you do sleep.
I do sleep,
but we call it her waiting time. So she just lays in bed and waits to rise out of bed
and start spouting things out.
Yes. But how are you sleeping?
I'm sleeping okay. I'm actually not sleeping great. So I know. And so I think that being purposeful about that. So in order to put some strict parameters around it, I'm saying I'm going to sleep 7 hours a night. So at least 7 hours a night. And I'd love to sleep more than that, but 7 hours. It's going to be my baseline for Q4. Okay. And then eating is always a big one. I'm not meal prep. I think is tricky that you could have a meal prep component. I know you're a great meal prepper.
On occasion.
Okay. Yeah. But
I'm an ingredient prepper.
So what we decided to put in here was just to eat at home, to cook and eat at home 5 nights a week.
And you know what we've been doing, and it's something that I love to do. So Sunday through Thursday, we'll eat at home. So on Sunday night, we'll maybe make a pot of chili or like some type of comfort food, enjoy it at home, and then, plan our meals Monday through Thursday. And then Friday is like our little treat day. So we can, Friday and Saturday. So we can either get takeout or go out to eat or something like that. It's almost like it's one less meal you have to plan during the week. And it just feels like
it's a celebration.
Yeah, a little celebration.
And the thing about cooking at home too is not only there's a financial aspect to it.
Yeah.
And then of course there's your health, right? So, I mean, I think even if you think you're choosing things that are healthier when you eat out, it's not the same as when you control, kind of, you can plan ahead and you actually have your hands in it.
Yep. Agree.
Yeah. It feels so good to cook, and
it does.
Yeah.
It does.
And I love leftovers.
Same. I'm with you.
Now
the last one I love, and this is something that you brought up about the new accounts.
Yeah, this is really simple, but just if you guys are on social media at all, think about following 5 new accounts or 10 new accounts, whatever you want, that focus on health and wellness. So I don't know about y'all, but like the things that show up on my feed, it really does. It impacts kind of what you're thinking about. And so I love following ones that have really fun recipe ideas.
Ooh, I love that one too.
Yeah.
Yep. I hit the little save button.
Me too.
So to recap, this first priority of physical health, the 5 strategies are 30 minutes of exercise 5 times a week, not a day. Number 2 is drink water, drink 100, whatever your goal is, drink water. Get at least 7 hours of sleep, 7 ounces of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly I need sleep.
Love that.
Today. Cook at home 5 times a week, which is such a good one. And then follow 5 or 10 or however many new wellness focused accounts.
That's right. And you may have something totally different that you want to put. Maybe you have a new, maybe there's a new activity that you want to try. Maybe you want to get into yoga. Maybe there's all kinds of things that you could put in there, but those are just our 5 that we came up with to kind of get you thinking.
Love it.
Yeah.
So under the G, our goal of improving our health, the second priority would be to improve our mental health.
Yeah.
Will you go through the 5 strategies of each of them?
Yeah. I just made a note that on this one, I think to improve mental health for me, it goes back to that shoe in your dryer thing. It's being proactive versus reactive to minimize overwhelm. Because I think overwhelm is the thing that gets us all in our mental health, right?
Yep.
With so many things coming at us all day, I think it's figuring out how to minimize that.
Such a good one.
So the first thing that I wrote down was figuring out a weekly planning time.
You do this on Sundays, right?
I really try. Yeah. And I've done it on Sunday afternoons. I've done it first thing Monday morning. I've done it on Friday afternoons, which actually is really fun on Friday to plan for the following week. So then when you sit back down at your desk on Monday, you know exactly what you need to accomplish, or at least some things that you need to.
And it feeds into what you said at the beginning with, you like to feel ahead.
Yeah.
If you do it Friday, you feel ahead. You're 2 days ahead.
That's exactly right. Whereas Sunday, then I'm like, oh, land.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday scaries are real.
Yeah. Yeah. The win the day list.
Tell me more about that. I like it.
So, this concept that we could fill pages and pages of all the things that we have to do, right? But prioritizing, what are the 5 things that I can do today where if I've done those 5 things, I have won the day, right? So and I'll get more than that done, but anything I get done beyond that is extra. So I think committing to every morning, creating a win the day list. I don't know about you, but sometimes at the end of the day, I think,
what did I do?
What did I do? And did I win today, or did I lose, or was I just really stuck in quicksand? I'm not sure. But I think if you can create the win the day list in the morning and then knock those things out, then I think that helps keep the shoes out of your dryer.
And it also shows that you determine when you win the day.
That's
like no one else determines
big
that.
One.
But if you're at the beginning of each day, if you're making this list, you're controlling that.
I think
which is how it is.
Yeah.
Just sometimes we forget that.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yep. Next one is create a holiday plan and share with your family.
I know.
What a good one.
I know. I mean, I just think, y'all, so much about the holidays is mismatched expectations.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I feel like the fork in my microwave is, okay, here's what we're actually going to do for Thanksgiving to my whole greater family. Here's what my expectations are. Here's what would be really great if we could make sure that we, do X or Y. Y'all, perfect example of this is at Christmas time every year, I want to get our tree and decorate it early.
Right.
And my husband, God bless him, just keeps pushing it, so I want to come to an agreement early on that. So I'm not anxious about it.
Sure.
What, and can we make it fun? Because it's not fun when everybody's angry.
Great point. It's supposed to be a very happy time.
So I think, again, this is a relatively simple one. Just kind of write down what's important to you about the big holidays that are coming up and share it with the people who need to know and find out what's important to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Schedule a date night each week with a significant other or a friend.
Yeah, I love that. You can just say, okay, for this month, every Tuesday, I'm going to make some really fun plans with somebody or meet for coffee or whatever it is and have a date night or meet a different friend every week, or just so that you're fostering connection.
Love it. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
You can meet for a workout class.
Totally.
I've done that recently with some of my girlfriends. Such a good one. Phone free time.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah. Just pick a time. And, and I think for a lot of people, I know for us, it's, when we are at dinner, when we sit down for dinner, that nobody has their phone at the table,
right?
And just taking a little bit of time, whether it's, you set a timer for 30 minutes or an hour, or whatever you say, everybody put their phones in the basket, whatever that looks like to you. I think just having some time where we're not inundated with alerts and outside forces is a really smart thing to do to protect your mental energy and mental health. And so again, guys, these don't have to be your priorities. The priority, these have to be your strategies. And to be clear, mental health doesn't have to be your priority. Sure. It's just that we're showing you how we're using this GPS tool and trying to make it something that's relatable for everybody.
Absolutely. So the last priority that we have in this example, again, we'll show this to you guys in a second, is improve your emotional health. Yeah. This one, for some reason, is harder for me to separate that and mental health. But I think the 5 strategies kind of explains it here, the 3 examples.
Yeah. And you know what you could do? I think what you could do is substitute emotional health. You could put spiritual health.
Ooh, good one.
Right. If you're, I think that there's, I think there are a lot of different ways that you could
I love it.
Address this.
So what's the first strategy under ways to improve your emotional / spiritual health, whatever you choose?
Yeah. So I just put a gratitude practice. When I get in the practice of doing that, it feels so good. Even if it's just saying to your spouse or your kids or a friend or whatever, here are 5 things I'm grateful for every day, or text it to somebody or write it in a journal or whatever that looks like. Just to be aware of what you're grateful for is a total shift, I think, emotionally.
Such a good one. Next one, read a book that addresses how you want to feel.
Yeah. So for me, I think a great example of this is Shauna Nyquist, Present Ever Perfect. Ooh, that's a book. God, that's a great book. If you've not read it, holy moly, what a great book. But I think I tend to get really into the business book, world, which is so fun. And I love reading those, but something that addresses your emotional health. I just think that's such a great way to kind of focus on that.
Sure. There's business help, then there's self-help, then there's, it's found.
How you want to feel, I think is a good,
good one. Okay. I love this one. You guys do this really well. I've seen them make a plan to bless another family at Thanksgiving and at Christmas.
Yeah. To me, I feel like one of the best sources of emotional health is to feel like that you're doing something for somebody else, right? If you're having a bad day, the easiest way to turn it around is to do something for somebody else.
Yes.
So I think making a plan, if it's Thanksgiving, there's so many organizations around here that do such a beautiful job of identifying folks who might need a Thanksgiving meal or folks who might need help doing Christmas presents for their kids or whatever that looks like. But I think putting a plan in place for that will immediately make you feel a lot stressed and better about the holidays that are coming up.
Agree. And it also puts a lot into perspective about any, forks in your whatever microwave. And, helping other people.
Ties into that gratitude list.
Yep. Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
Identify and have one tough conversation that you've been putting off. This one scares me. But I think it's a good one though.
Yeah. And talk about like a shoe in your dryer. Like we all know those conversations that we need to have that we just keep putting off. And what would it feel like if you really had them in a kind and thoughtful way? Also, if you plan to have the conversation, it's inevitably going to go so much better than if you're backed into a corner and end up accidentally having the conversation you've been needing to have.
Proactive.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't know. I thought that one was just an interesting one. And yeah. So I thought that might be a good one to do.
And then last.
Yeah. And you know what? I actually have a sixth one that I thought of while we've been talking. Okay. And so the number 5 is send 3 kind texts per day.
I love this one.
I mean, just thinking about like it's the gratitude practice is all that's proactively making yourself have a good day and have a good quarter, just think about what's something nice I can say to somebody. And I think when you're thinking of that, it just gets your mind right. It gets your emotions where they need to be.
Yep. It could be a direct message on Instagram or Facebook as well. I feel like
I love that. Or a comment on somebody's social media. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the 6th one that I thought of about emotional health is to kind of tie this up with a bow. If we're thinking about that, the reason that we are doing this GPS in the 4th quarter is to set us up for a great 2024, right? It's to have us already in the groove of feeling the way we want to feel heading into the new year. This might be cheesy, but I love it. And that is doing a vision board.
Oh, you love a vision
board. I love a vision board because y'all, I think they work.
Yeah.
And so to me, what I think a vision board, and thank you, Laura Montocchio. Laura is the vision board queen. She's so great at this, our colleague, Laura. But doing a vision board where you just put images or words or whatever about the things that you want to have happen in 2024, whether it's places you want to visit or people you want to spend time with. I mean, you can put family photos in there. You can put, all kinds of things from magazines. You can put quotes, all different kinds of things, and just layer it. And then I think putting that somewhere where you can see it gets you excited for the new year, instead of, again, feeling overwhelmed. I think what it does is it lets you kind of cast that vision and move towards it.
That's a good one. Love a vision board.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I feel very fired up for my health. Like I'm literally going to adopt each of these.
Okay. Well, I mean, I love that. And guys, our hope is certainly if this is something that you're interested in pursuing as it relates to health, then great. But also just, again, giving you an example of this GPS tool and just getting it out on paper. We've been doing this as in our business as a large group and also in our sub teams, going through and thinking about what do we really want to accomplish together in the 4th quarter. And it feels good. Feels really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So y'all, we're going to upload this PDF into the comments so you guys can save it and then fill out your own GPS or adopt it just like I'm about to. So just look in the comments and we will post that in there in just a second. But is there anything else you can think of that people need to know about GPSs, or should we roll into?
No, I don't think so. But I think this totally relates to what's saving my life. And I think that what's saving my life is this great reminder that, being proactive feels really good. And that I think that, if you don't plan for what you want your life to look like, if you don't plan for how you want to feel in it, then I think you just fall to, kind of your habits and you just kind of fall prey to the wins. I mean, that without a plan, I think that you can't expect to live your best life and to feel the best that you can.
I really like that. I love it.
Yeah.
Mine is kind of, mine was inspired by Jordan, who is our coach. You guys have met Jordan many times, but I was on a call with him this week, and I was talking about when I feel, I guess, the least confident, or when I feel the word imposter syndrome came up a lot for some reason.
Sure.
I've been struggling with that a little bit. And what he helped me realize, it's been over the past couple of months, but it really made sense now, is that the times when I have questions, but I don't ask them, that's when I get the imposter syndrome. So it could be in a personal relationship. If I have a question for Mary Cheatham and it's just been rattling around in my brain and I never ask it, that's anxiety that's happening and all that stuff. If I just ask it, it gets rid of it, because it's never a bigger deal than you make it in your head. So
I think that's so good. And I think that ties in with identifying the tough conversations that you need to have, and just have them, because I think they turn into these monsters under our beds.
Yeah.
When really, once you bring them out into the light, it's totally fine.
Exactly. So ask the questions. That's the thing that's been saving my life. I've noticed it in, the work environment and in my personal life. And it's just really been a game changer over the past couple of weeks. But
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think this whole thing stemmed from asking the question I was asking myself: how can I feel better?
Yeah. Here we go.
There you go.
Here's the answer.
I know.
GPS.
I know. That's exactly right.
Such a good one.
I know. Well, thank y'all for learning through this with us today, because it's been such a great experience for us to talk about it and figure it out. And it's just fun to share.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.